Make sure I got everything ready to go here. Boy, a little bit of preparation on this one today. Some things going on here that we're getting ready to share with you guys. We're waiting on the lovely Catherine to join us. Let's see here. There we go, approving that.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you with me?
I'm here.
We caught that. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, good deal. All right, so Catherine, what's first of all, what day are we on?
7.
Yep, and we're just moving right along, and we've got some new people in the program.
Yep.
People that are consistently hanging in there. Kelly, thanks for getting a little bit of some motivation for some new people that are coming along. Keep an eye out for that. I may take up your offer for a little bit of help every once in a while. I get a little sidetracked. I could like to have somebody keep me more accountable. I do have Catherine though that does kind of go, Doc, really? What have you been doing? So we just got a little okay. So wait just a second here. I think we'll wait and see if there's anybody's coming on today. What are we going to talk about today, Catherine?
Glyphosate.
Glyphosate. Now, some people may hear that and be like, all right, what's glyphosate? Is that kind of like some space age planet that we're worried about, or an asteroid that's coming this way to destroy the world? No, glyphosate is literally Roundup.
Mm-hmm.
That may be very obvious to some people. People have heard of Roundup,
Yeah.
right? So Roundup and glyphosate, yes, we're going to talk a little about it. We've got a new video in the program, don't we, Catherine?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we're going to do more of those. And I've got some things in here. I'm just going to kind of go sideways here on you. I want to pull up. Just going to start talking about how we're going to add in some things. Like I want to go over, I've got some a video that we're going to work on for antibiotic resistance, kind of what's happening or why antibiotics aren't working really well. Some of you parents out there may want to hear this, maybe kind of understand a little bit more about this. Electromagnetic fields, maybe a little bit with children and how that's affecting brain waves, kind of what they're doing, sleep patterns, things like that. Just some ideas of what we can offer you, because you're not sitting in our practice. Some of you are, but this is just like I said, this is a way of having a bank of information for you to go back to and reuse, review, go over. As you've kind of seen in here in the practice, we like to say we're popular, Catherine. We're never too busy for you. I like to be very clear on that. We're never too busy, but we're popular because we've got a lot of people that are interested in their health. And after everything that's happened in 2020, people are raising their hand going, what can I do to be healthier? They're not just sitting back going, oh, I'm just going to wait until I have a disease and then deal with it. Now, there are those that are still out there, but I'm seeing a trend more along the ladder that people are trying to come in and be more proactive. But I've got to read a couple of things before we kind of dive into this. I want to go over some glyphosate stuff really quick, just some quick hitters. Time Magazine, May of 2022, said 56 million acres of corn and soybean will be sprayed by glyphosate. Here, I got right here, here's in the U.S., approximately 281 million pounds of glyphosate were applied to 290 million acres annually on average from 2012 to 2016. So of course this isn't really that relevant. I mean, I don't think they're doing a lot of studies anymore on this because they figured out, wait till I read you a couple things. They figured out some of what's happening to our human population due to some of these direct correlations to glyphosate or the toxin. But you're gonna have to watch the video to see how exactly why. Here is one. More than 80% of urine samples drawn from children and adults in the U.S. studies contained glyphosate. So in other words, it's in everyone. And it even says here, this is disturbing and concerning, is what the CDC said. It is a toxin that is that they're spraying that kills pretty much everything. In fact, there was a joke that said, you remember Ethel in Frank's Red Hot hot sauce ad? Catherine doesn't remember this. Remember when she says, "I put that shit on everything," right? That was the idea, the mindset back in 1974 when they realized that glyphosate would really pretty much destroy everything. They thought it was just going to destroy the weeds, but really what they did is they took an area that they were going to farm, spray it with glyphosate so that everything dies, and then they would till up the ground and then plant their corn and their crops, which made sense because then you didn't have any weeds to start with, even though they're coming because it's in the soil. So then in 1996, they came up and they patented genetically modified foods. That's where we start to see the problems start to, kind of come up. However, and then that's when they put that stuff on everything. Then they started spraying everything because now they knew that the crop would survive. However, all the weeds would die and everything around it would die. There wouldn't be anything that would, survive. However, bioengineering and the body just kind of supporting its own self and trying to survive. I mean, you don't see a lot of species fall off unless, I'm sorry, man has had a role in it. But you don't see that very happen because the evolution is they adapt. So these weeds were adapting, or we call them mutating, right? We're not talking about the X-Men or anything like that, but the mutation is their ability to survive. So what did the farmer do if weeds were starting to survive, even just the light spraying of what we were doing? They sprayed what, Catherine?
More?
Yeah, just more. They just kept dumping it more on there, right? Because they were thinking, well, listen, if a little bit didn't work, what's everybody think about like, hey, if a little bit's good, then more is always better, right? So the idea behind it was they were just spraying more on there. And it was still killing it all, but still the mutation was happening. Now, that means though that more exposure was happening to us also because there's more on the plants now, more on the crop. Even though the crop was still looking good, they were genetically modified to survive that. Now let's go over a couple of ideas. I've got study after study in here. I'm just going to read a couple things. Just kind of a neat thing right here for you. Just statins are the #1 prescribed drug in the U.S., right? With over 220 million prescriptions doled out annually. What is cholesterol used for? To help with inflammatory responses in the body and help them with cell breakdown. Oh boy, guess what glyphosate has a role in? Destroying the cells because of an inflammatory burden to the body. Wait, Alex, we're going to go, yeah, it's coming. 14 prescriptions are written per American per year. Catherine, how many prescriptions do you get?
0.
Yeah, me too, 0. So think about it. That means somebody else is catching ours. Got it? So yeah, not so good. Metformin is prescribed over 90 million times per year in the United States. Yeah, here's a fascinating statistic. Among teens, 18% have a fatty liver disease, close to 30% are pre-diabetic, and more than 40% are overweight or obese. 50 years ago, pediatricians would go an entire career without seeing any of these conditions in their patients. I mean,
Pretty crazy.
yeah. So, 6 out of 10 adults are living with chronic illness. About 50% of the Americans will deal with mental illness sometime in their lifetime. So 74% of adults are overweight and have or obesity. And so when you start to think this through, I want to just go over really quick when it comes to mental illness or mental health or things like that. Your serotonin, 90% of serotonin, the hormone that regulates mood and contentment, is made in the gut, not in the brain. Well, guess what happens when you eat when glyphosate is added to the body? You're going to learn about that in the video about what's going on with the glyphosate. Anyway, so I want to go a little bit more into kind of just the understandings, not to make you too nervous or worry about all these conditions, because it's really hard to avoid the glyphosate. So we're going to give them a couple solutions, Catherine. So, but the biggest thing would try to be eating organic. Now, there's so much of cross contamination now. Why do we use Standard Process? Is because they're an organic farm. By the way, do you guys understand what it means to be an organic farm? You have to farm without any chemicals or toxins for at least 3 years. So you make 0 profit for 3 years. You're feeding the friends around your area. You're supporting your community, giving back whatever crop you're developing and stuff. but you're mass producing it because you want to, you're going to make a whatever else, become an organic farm. But you can't sell it, but you can just donate it and use it and whatever. So in the future, Catherine, we may want to go move closer to anybody who's going to have an organic farm for the first 3 years, get some free food out of it.
Mhm.
But this is why it's so hard for organic farms to be sustainable or to grow or to be able to, to have as many out there as possible. It's why organic is a little bit more expensive. But the nutrients that are in there is going to be more valuable to you, right? Because they use crop rotation. And there's so many things that our government and our, the United States could be doing to go away from this known carcinogen called glyphosate. But they're not, because guess who bought the company back in 2018? Do you remember? Do you remember who bought it?
Bayer?
Yeah, Bayer. Perfect. A pharmaceutical company that makes your aspirin for your muscle soreness. Guess what we see in here as a chiropractor? Because glyphosate can affect the glycine, which is an amino acid that goes in the protein structure of two things: glutathione, which is helps with free radical damage and antioxidant destruction in the body, and also collagen. Now hey, listen, so people now are going, uh-oh, collagen. That makes your hair grow, makes your eyeballs better, makes your skin tight, gets rid of the wrinkles, like all these things. You're right. And guess who should know a lot about collagen, Catherine? Chiropractors, because it makes up the structures of the spine, the ligaments, the integrity. Because without collagen, you would be a jellyfish. Let's not have Catherine as a jellyfish, because it's no good. You don't have any of these structures that hold you up. So this is where we're starting to see more and more of these disease processes that are going to be back pain, muscle soreness, stiffness, disc problems. Oh boy, and we have decompression, which is awesome, but we're seeing more and more of breakdown in disc and the integrity of the spine. However, let's give some solutions, but pay attention. I'll make this short because we've got a video coming up now in the cycle that you got to pay attention to and watch. Catherine, what are some things and solutions to this, I guess, epidemic that's happening to our bodies and our which literally we're putting together on our own, all because of what? What's the biggest reason they're doing it? Big money. I mean, so what's a couple of things that we're offering to our clients in here to help support them through this process that's different than maybe other things that they could be buying out there or doing to support themselves? Go ahead, Catherine.
Yeah, so we're going to be carrying this new product from Biotics that's a collagen powder. It's called Optimal Collagen. So a lot of people are already taking some kind of collagen. These collagen powders are really popular right now. I feel like tons of people are doing it for their hair, their skin, their nails, maybe even just as a protein powder. But this is a really good product because it actually contains type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 collagen, whereas most just have 1 and 3. So like your vital proteins, which a lot of people are taking, and that's kind of in most grocery stores, that only has the type 1 and the type 3 collagen.
And not even that high of an amount, but it's also a lower value to it, and they're the ones that are spending tons of money to advertise and market. That's why you're seeing so much of it out there. Go ahead, Catherine.
Yeah, and so the type 2 collagen is what's really good for your joints. So like Doc was saying, the chiropractors, and collagen is just really important. You're totally missing that piece of it if you're getting a collagen powder that doesn't have the type 2 collagen in it.
Right. Yeah, and then what do we pair that with, Catherine, that I think is brilliant, and a lot of times you may be missing this out there. I'd say you're not Catherine, but the people out there, population missing this, because you need a certain vitamin. Now, you always need minerals and stuff like that, but obviously the minerals are depleted. You'll learn about that in the glyphosate video too. But the minerals are depleted in the soil. They've always already been. Now we're doing more to push it even further away. I know, brilliant, right? This is our scientists. Anyway, so what else do we need then, Catherine, to help support that collagen, to help build those bones? We need connective tissue. We need something like what?
Vitamin C.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to quickly mention that this also has the silicone in it.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the collagen glue that sticks it all together. And a lot of other collagens are missing that. And so you're not getting that extra support, but that is in this collagen. But a good product for vitamin C is something like this standard process Cataplex AC, because it's got the A and the C. It's going to be good for your immune system as well and healing that epithelial lining of your gut
which is
as well.
what's being destroyed through
The glyphosate.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then that vitamin C also is an amazing product. So we use that a lot as a starter product for most people anyway, just to help with the gut lining.
Yeah.
Because remember, we also know that they've done studies where if you have somebody who has dysbiosis or depression or anxiety or all that kind of stuff that goes along with that, they can literally take the gut microbiome from one animal who's depressed, put it in another animal, and make that animal start to have symptoms of depression, literally because of the microbiome in the gut.
Mhm.
This is where, you know, it's so neat to be able to understand how nutrition can support this. So that's what's really great about this. Oh, and Claire wanted to make a point about Cyruta Plus. Also, Catherine, what's in Cyruta Plus?
The P factor.
Yep. So it's going to help. That's vitamin C and the P factor that helps to really solidify and help build up the collagen and the matrix of using that bones and growth and maturation of the tissue. So really a lot to do. Plus a good probiotic is always a good thing, a good idea too. But you don't want to do the same probiotic over and over and over. We want to cycle them. So we do a probiotic for a little bit, then we change them, then we do another one, we change another one. So you constantly are cycling out your probiotic because you want a diverse gut microbiome. You don't want the same things over and over. We want to kind of make it flourish and help to support this. This is for kids. This is for adults. This is for elderly. This is for everybody. This message, this information today, Catherine, I mean, I'm kind of biased because we get to do this on a regular basis and we get to change lives. People wonder, people come to me, well, Doc, why are you always so positive and upbeat and have so much fun? Well, one, I get to work with great people. That's one of the reasons, right? I get to come to work and have Tracy and, you know, and of course, Catherine and everybody else and Travis and Nikki and Claire and then Dr. Wilkie. I mean, we just have such a great team. But then I also get to give people hope and explain to them how and why nutrition, chiropractic, movement, all of those things move us in a direction toward health, which is always what we're trying to strive here, especially part of this group. 1% better every day. Catherine, we could talk about this topic for hours, probably. I could talk for hours. Thanks, Catherine. But Catherine, thank you for the input on the two products, on the three products, actually. If you guys have questions about that at all or any of those products, comment below. Because remember, vitamin C, not all vitamin C is the same. Don't just think that your over-the-counter vitamin C that you're getting at Costco at a discount or whatever, you're getting 1,000 pills for, you know, $5 or whatever. It's not. That's ascorbic acid that doesn't have all of the bioflavonoids. It doesn't have all of the right true chemistry to put together to help support your body. Remember, we're using whole food nutrition. By the way, why are we using standard process as the vitamin C? It's because it is from a organic farm that has been, you know, it's the first company to coin whole food vitamins. Why? Because they used whole food. It's just, and then every other vitamin company has kind of spun off of that because of the success that they've had. But guys, questions, comments, anything, please let us know below. And let us know if there's anything we can do to help you out. And we're going to be pushing more of these out here. If you like this information, please just put a thumbs up or give us a little like on the bottom of this so that we can know you guys are enjoying this stuff. And we'll do more. Welcome to the new people. Have a great day. Catherine, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys again on the next one.
Yeah.